All right, so we need to talk about our number one goalkeeper, Kepa, if we're going to keep him or sell him this summer. Now, this has been kind of a talking point for the last couple months since we've been really bringing a lot of new players. We've been talking about different players that maybe need to be upgraded, and the goalkeeper position could possibly be one of those positions. Now, arguably, Kepa has probably one of his best seasons at Chelsea this season under Graham Potter. He's had 19 starts in the Premier League, 57 saves, 8 clean sheets, and only let 14 goals. Now, I want to attribute that to our defense as well. That's not just Kepa himself. So again, yes, Kepa has been obviously helping out the clean sheet record, but our defense has been rock solid as well. On top of that, in the Champions League, he's had 10 saves, 3 clean sheets, and 4 goals allowed. So arguably, like I said, this has been his best season. He even broke Thibaut Courtois' record for clean sheets as a goalkeeper at Chelsea, which again is quite remarkable because, as we know, Thibaut Courtois had a pretty stellar time at Chelsea. Now, it didn't end very well with fans and everything along those lines, but the player that when he played for us did quite well, and you could argue that Kepa's done quite well through his entire time at Chelsea as well. Now, yes, we won a few things. We obviously won the Champions League, Europa, Super Cup, just to name a few things, but we are lacking some other cups as well, and at the same time, Kepa has been all over the place throughout his time at Chelsea. If you recall, when Sarri was our manager, we had the whole issue about if he was getting subbed off, subbed on. And again, that was a big headache. But like I said, the one thing with Kepa is that he's pretty much stayed with Chelsea. He never really wanted to leave. Yes, there was some rumors last season that he may go to Serie A, but that did not happen. He did stick with Chelsea and wanted to fight for that number one position, which again, he ended up getting over Mendy, who, yes, arguably has been a very good goalkeeper, but from what Graham Potter has said, he prefers Kepa because he's able to play with his feet better than Mendy. And as we recall, when Mendy has the ball coming to him, you're not really sure how things are going to go. I remember the Leeds game earlier this season with Thomas Tuchel still being our manager. Things did not go well for Mendy. Now, arguably, like I said, though, Kepa does have his flaws. Every goalkeeper is going to have their flaws, but really, Kepa's big thing is that he's not able to dictate his box when a ball is crossed in, and we see this time and time again, especially in our last match against Everton, where, yes, we should have probably won that game, and Kepa probably should have saved that last goal, but we also should have probably won that game way before that. It shouldn't have come down to a 2-2 draw. We should have at least scored 3 or 4 goals in that match, and so therefore, again, I'm not going to put all the blame on Kepa, yet when you have a goalkeeper that is an all-star that's playing the best they possibly can, they come up with those big saves, and like I said, sometimes Kepa does do that, but sometimes he does not, and therefore, again, it's arguing that point that should we keep him or sell? Now, let's say we keep him. Again, he came in for $70 million back in 2018. I think we overpaid for this player. At that time, he was our biggest signing ever in club history. We've obviously gone on to buy more players since then that have gone broken that record. But at the time, for what we paid for this player, we really have not gotten back the amount of money we put into this. Now, again, we've won things with him. So, again, you could argue that, yes, he's worked out for us, but you would expect Chelsea to be the club that they are to do a lot more, and especially with a goalkeeper you paid that much for, you expect to not give up many goals at all. Now, again, arguably, we've only given up 14, I think, as of right now in the Premier League season, which is quite low. I have to double check. There might be a few more because I don't think I'm actually adding in Mendy's in that equation. So, again, we are fairly low in allowing goals, but that also comes to our defense as well. So, again, Thiago Silva, Reece James, Koulibaly, Badiashile, Chilwell, just to name it, as Phil Quaita, our defense has been rock solid. So again, that kind of goes back and forth with the goalkeeper. But if we were to sell this player, let's talk about that, because I think we will try to sell him, and I think he may go to Serie A at the end of this summer, especially if we can get the player that we want to get, which we'll talk about in a second. But if we were to sell him, I think he would go for around 40 to 50 million, which means that we would pretty much recuperate most of the money that we spent on this player back in 2018. Now, obviously, we're not going to get 70 million for him. Let's be realistic here. He's not worth that much. He probably wasn't worth that much at the time, but Chelsea wanted to go out and get this goalkeeper, so we paid a little bit more for him. And things just did not work out to get that money from this player. But like I said, if we were to sell him, I think we get 40 or 50 million for him. Now, that being said, the player that I do want to see us bring in then, if we do sell Kepa, would be David Raya from Brentford. Now, people are probably going to say, why would we bring this player in? We could probably get some better options. But in my humble opinion, David Raya has probably been one of the best goalkeepers in the Premier League season this season. And it's sometimes difficult to see that because he's playing for Brentford. Now, Brentford obviously are having a great season this year, being top half of the table. They're actually above Chelsea right now. But their defense isn't rock solid. So again, David Raya is put under a lot of stress a lot of times. And sooner or later, teams are going to break that barrier and score goals against Brentford. And again, David Raya can only do so much. But like I said, when he steps up, he does make incredible saves and has gotten a lot of points for Brentford, not just this season, but prior seasons to that, even before he had an injury last season. And therefore, again, he could easily elevate Chelsea and keep us having more clean sheets and not allowing to score a lot of goals against our defense. And because, like I said earlier, our defense is so rock solid, having David Raya between the sticks and then Thiago Silva, Koulibaly, Bediashile, Reece James, Ben Chilwell, Azpilicueta, I'm sure I'm missing Wesley Fofana and some other players. All of those players, again, would really stop most of the defense or stop the attacks in the defense. And again, wouldn't put too much pressure on Raya. And even if they got past him, they'd have to get past the Raya as well. And again, it'd be very difficult for teams to score against us. So therefore, again, it helps us start winning more games because, again, if we don't allow teams to score, we only need to score 1 or 2 goals. And as we've seen, we've been slowly implementing more and more chances to score goals. And therefore, this could help Chelsea's season next year. Now, again, this is maybe a crapshoot for the most part because I don't know if David Raya is going to want to leave Brentford. He obviously is well adored at the club itself, and therefore he may want to stay there. But if Chelsea or even any other bigger club come knocking, more likely than not, he's going to want to accept that bigger wage and go to a bigger club. The only problem with Chelsea is that we're not playing the Champions League, but Brentford obviously have not been in the Champions League either, so therefore that may not sway him too much. Now, obviously, he'd probably want to play in the Champions League, but the fact he has not played before could actually be okay for him to go to Chelsea because, like I said, if he's able to get a bigger pay raise and also play with a better squad, and again, this team has more probability of making the Champions League in the previous or next year compared to Brentford, so therefore, again, he may make that move. Now, there probably are a few other options, but I know David Raya is #1 option for Chelsea with Graham Potter. But like I said, if we do keep Kepa, then that negates anything going forward. But like I said, I have a feeling we're probably going to sell Kepa this summer. So I want to know what you guys think. So comment down below if you think we should keep Kepa, if he's been okay at this club, if we overpaid for him, anything that you guys think about Kepa. I want to know what you guys think. So if you did enjoy this video, again, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe down below. Helps get this video to more and more fans such as yourself. And that is it. And I will see you in our next video.